Lincoln. I was born in Lexington, Kentucky towards the end of the year 1818. Kentucky was a border state between the Union and the Confederacy. My parents, Robert Smith Todd, he was a banker, and my mother was Elizabeth Parker Todd. People called her Eliza. I was born to a very comfortable life, refinement, rich, but I now look upon my childhood as a very bleak one. Maybe the reason is when I had only aged 7 years, my mother passed away. She died, and my father remarried. He married a young woman named Elizabeth Betsy Humphreys Todd. And for some reason, my stepmother and I had a very arduous or difficult relationship. And so that is partly why I left home at a very juvenile age in an effort to avoid my stepmother. And I attended a finishing school. I learned graces, I learned music, I learned art, social skills, dancing, which I could do very, very well. And I got quite interested in politics and had a very good voice in public speaking and for politics. Anyway, when I was about 21, I went to live with my sister, Mrs. Ninian Edwards, in Springfield, Illinois. That is where I met my future husband, Abraham Lincoln, who, before we got married, considered himself of little importance to this world and really flattered me. And so, after a bitter and stormy courtship and a broken engagement, we got married. We had 4 sons after we got married: Robert, William, though we called him Willie, Thomas, aka Tad, and Edward. But 3 of our sons died, and only Robert would live to manhood. Abe ran in the 1860 presidential election, and he won. So we settled into the White House and for a while had a very peaceful time there. But on Good Friday, in early April, Abe and I went to Ford's Theater to see the play My Beautiful American Cousin. His assassin, his to-be assassin, John Wilkes Booth, was going to follow us there a little after we arrived. So John Wilkes Booth got to Ford's Theater, and he knew his way around Ford's Theater because he had acted there, for he was an actor, and he acted there many a time. So, and he was going to assassinate him. He was going to assassinate my husband. There was actually going to be someone originally guarding him, but that person failed to show up for some reason. And so John Wilkes Booth was able to sneak up to the presidential booth and shoot my husband in the back of the head, and then he ran away. And I was holding my dying husband, my poor husband, and crying and sobbing and sobbing and sobbing, and a few doctors, 3 to 4 doctors, carried him to a house. They wouldn't let me be in the room, though, because I was crying so much, for I was very high-strung. And so I was not by his deathbed to see him die. So they had a funeral for him, but I couldn't even go to that because I couldn't bear it. I was too sad. I had too much grief. After that, I wore only black for mourning my husband's death, and my son, Robert, took care of me. Some people, though, thought I was going a little bit crazy or insane. They thought I was going to jump out of a window in order to escape a non-existing danger and kill myself. And so, in 1865, the people had judged me insane. They judged me insane, and that made me so mad, that is when I actually attempted suicide. I went to this hotel pharmacist and ordered enough laudanum to kill myself. Laudanum is a type of medicine, but can be very, very dangerous and can kill you if you use too much, and I ordered enough to kill myself. Unfortunately, someone figured out my plans and had the order canceled. I got the government finally to pay me a yearly petition, and I had my $56,000 sewn into my petticoats. All my petticoats. I bought a lot of elaborate, beautiful, lavish, luxurious things with all my money. things I didn't even use or need, though. I bought dresses I didn't wear because they weren't black, because I was wearing black for my husband's mourning. I bought drapes and curtains I didn't even wear. And I bought a lot of things I didn't need. I died at age 64, and about 12 or so days after our nation's Independence Day. And I thought I had a very good life. First Lady during the Civil War. It was tough, but I went through it. So overall, I think I had quite a good life.